Hello, I'm Mariah. I've been growing sprouts for over 40 years on a consistent basis. It's simple, it's inexpensive, requires no special equipment, and for about 10 minutes a day you can have vital, alive, nutrient-dense foods throughout the year. First I'll show you the equipment that I use, and then I'll show you the method. I'd like to tell you about the equipment that I use. I've never bought a sprouting kit, so what I do is I go to the big box stores and I get a big jar of pickles, a gallon-sized jar. Then I give the pickles a new home into a different container. Next, I soak the jar in really hot water to get those labels off. And then I will sterilize it in some fashion by either putting it in the dishwasher or putting really hot water into it. Next, I'll go to the hardware store and get a roll of window screen. And then I'll just take that roll and I'll just cut it to the right size for the top of my jar. Then I get these elastics and I just put them on the top of the jar. And this is all you need to grow sprouts. Now I'd like to show you the seeds that I use to sprout. I get them primarily from two different sources. I get this wonderful mix from iHerb, and it's a zesty sprouting mix. It has clover, fenugreek, and radish seeds. It's very unique and it's very tasty. Then I get these terrific mixes from the Sprout people in San Francisco. The Russian mix has red clover, onion, mustard, fenugreek, and dill. And then the Italian mix is red clover, garlic, and cress. And then, of course, the clover. You can also get mung beans. They sprout very well. And lentils. Really, any kind of seed or bean will work for sprouts. For the zesty sprouting mix, I usually put about a quarter cup of the seeds in the bottom, and then I just put the cold water, just put in, so it's about 3 times over the seeds. And then I just cover it with screen. And I put it away overnight. That's all that requires. Now these seeds have been soaking for about 6 to 8 hours. I'm just going to tip them over and rinse out the water. I like to leave them tipped over there. These mung bean seeds have been soaking for about 24 hours. I'm just going to tip them over. And generally you do want to keep them on their side, tipped over like this, while they're sprouting. What I normally do is I put them in a dark place so that they can start to germinate and they can just reach up for the sun. That's what I normally do. With sprouts, you pretty much have to rinse them every single day. You use cold water. You can just swish it around like this so all the sprout seeds are wet. Then you make sure that they're tipped over on the side. Do that once or twice a day. That's good. Now, these sprouts have been growing probably about 5 days. And this is pretty important to do. You want to get rid of the hulls, the dead weight that's in there. You can really see it on this jar. You see all right there? Those are seeds that haven't germinated and that we want to get out of there because that can increase the spoilage of your sprouts. What I do is I fill a nice clean bowl of water and then I just, with very, very clean hands, put them in the bowl of water and swish them around with your fingers. Now, you want to make sure that this jar is rinsed out so it doesn't have any of the residue left. Okay, and you can see the hulls have risen to the top. Those are the things you want to get out. So I just leave it to the side. See all those hulls? That's what you want to get rid of. Ideally, you'd like to get rid of most of them. Push them to the side. These are the hulls that could potentially ruin your bunch of sprouts. So you do want to try to get all of those out. And if you look at the very bottom, you can see the seeds that didn't germinate. This is the third day. This is what they'll look like on the fifth day. This is the seventh day. You can see they're green. I put them in indirect light. These are the mung beans. This is about 4 to 5 days worth. Today is day 7. And these ones, the zesty sprouting mix, they're ready to harvest. See how pretty they are? And I'm going to get the final group of hulls out. And then I'm just going to put them in the indirect light on my counter. And they're ready to eat. Bon appetit. So there are 4 jars of tasty sprouts, and that is about half a cup of seeds altogether. Probably cost you $25 to buy that in the store, at least.